Thank you, Ryan. May I have another?
Okay, today is Friday, May 30th, and today is the weigh-ins. We've got Ryan. About 7 days ago, he was weighing 12 pounds heavier than what he needed to weigh at, and it's 15 pounds. 15 pounds heavier than what he needed to weigh. He needs to weigh tonight at 155, and tomorrow he'll probably catch on 5 to 10 pounds, get that water back in the system and things like that. Today, Ben needs to weigh 140, and Andrew needs to weigh 160. Ben weighed in this morning at 140.5. Andrew weighed in this morning at 160.8, so we're good as far as they're concerned. Ryan's still over 5 pounds, so we're going to go sweat it out in the sauna and see if he actually makes weight. If he doesn't make weight, then there'll be no fight. So hopefully he'll make weight, and everybody will get to see Ryan fight all three of our fighters. It's been a tough camp. This has been the toughest training camp that I've ever done. We went to the recreation department for a few days. We went to the dam and run steps. We worked out hard in class. We had good training partners. Drove to the hardcore gym, worked out with professional fighters there. Basically, all my guys are ready. Their conditioning, their fight strategy, as long as they can stay on our game plan, it's going to be, all three of them's going to win big. So that's my main concern now, is keeping their head straight and make sure they focus during the fight so we can stay to our game plan.
A week ago, I weighed in at 147, and now I'm at 140.5, but last night was probably the hardest. About 11 o'clock last night, I quit drinking and quit eating anything, so I probably won't eat. Well, I know I won't eat till after weigh-ins, and I may not get to drink until after weigh-ins, depending on how much I cut at the sauna. Not eating for 24 hours, it doesn't bother me, but me, it's always been a big thing. I've always got to keep hydrated, or I feel like I'm getting claustrophobic, can't breathe, just things like that. But eating so far, it's not really bothering me, but not drinking for 24 hours, that's what's really killing me. In the past 6 weeks, I'd probably have to say my funnest time was the other day. Me, Ryan, and Andrew done a drill where for 30 seconds, you forgot about technique. You just went all out on the bag, just done what you want, just get a good sweat going. I think that was probably the funnest, because then I'm not having the coaches there, not having other people there telling me, well, that technique's wrong, this technique, you need to do so-and-so. So I think that was my funnest. The hardest would have to be last week at the rec department, going every day of the week, running, exercising, and out in the hot weather, and I think that was by far the hardest.
Coming into practice and training about a week ago, I was weighing anywhere from 170 to 175 given the day. Tonight, I have to weigh in at 160. I came in this morning weighing a little under 161, so my weight's pretty on target right now. I'd have to say cutting weight this time is a lot easier, because for the last fight, I didn't really do it I guess you would say the smart way. I chose not to eat really for the last 3 or 4 days, as opposed to eating right and just cutting the weight off. So this time I chose to eat salads about 3 or 4 weeks out. I cut out sodas, and it dropped my weight down at a more stable level, and it wasn't as hard to lose the weight. This training camp, as opposed to the last fight, was a lot more fun because we had more people in. The sessions were more fun because we would get drills that we normally couldn't do because it was just me and Ryan. Chuck could focus on one of us while the other two were working other drills, and we had some pretty hard days, I'm not going to lie, but through it all I think it's going to pay off.
Before the 6 weeks, I'd never lifted weights before. So once Coach Boyd got here, I just had to learn everything. I had to learn the proper technique so I didn't get hurt, and I think that was hard too, just simply because I've never lifted weights before. Well, the game plan is I'm coming out southpaw, which means I'm coming out like a left-handed fighter. And as of right now, for the first and second round, I'm just going to do nothing but pump front kicks, side kicks, and round kicks. And hopefully that'll be enough to get him winded, you know, get his arms and legs pretty beat up. Then the third round, just move in and just start being more aggressive and putting the heat on him.
All right, they're working on drills for Muay Thai. Ben is doing some kickboxing drills on the mitts. We call this a kick sandwich. Starts with a kick, throws some hands, and then ends with a kick. Over here on Ryan, Ryan's working on sprawls. Partner's working on throwing punches. and the other partner is shooting in, trying for the takedown, trying to get that reflex of while you're punching your opponent, he may duck under and try to take you down. So you got to get a reflex to stop the shot.
All right, when I started this training camp, I weighed in like 177, 178. Ended up losing about 8 pounds of fat. So last week I ended up weighing about 170, and you know, as most of y'all know, my fight weight's 155, and came in today weighing 160, so that leaves 5 more pounds. And seems I'm the unfortunate one that has 5 more pounds because everyone else only has 1. But it's all right though, it's not a big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal. 5 pounds isn't that easy to lose, but not considering I lost 7 last night, 3 through my sleep last night, and then I got 5 more left, so it's not gonna be fun. Haven't had anything to eat. My last meal was 4 o'clock yesterday, and won't eat anything till about the second after I weigh in tonight. And I didn't really drink anything either. I haven't drank anything since 4 o'clock yesterday either. I drank a little bit of Gatorade last night, just kind of, I mean, I was getting kind of dry mouth, so I had to have something. This camp, compared to the previous 5, has been the greatest. Mainly because, you know, like other guys said, because we've had more people here to train with. You know, 3 guys fighting in one event, that's insane. You know, I never thought. I mean, I just never thought it was going to happen anytime, you know, in the near future. And I mean, and hopefully, you know, we're building. You know, it was just one. It was one at a time. You know, with me, Steven, and Broadus, and you know, now then that last time you had me and Andrew, that was 2, and then now you got me, Andrew, and Ben. Hopefully, you know, this will continue on. Maybe the next fight we fight at, we'll have 3, maybe even 4 or 5 fighters. You know, having more people in your camp, it just makes you that much better. And I mean, the training, it's tougher, you know, but having more people there with you makes it a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but just it helps you look forward to it. You know, the motivation is really there a lot more when you have more people there. You know, like I said, it's been the toughest training camp so far. I feel right now I'm in the best shape of my life, I mean, that I've ever been through wrestling, you know, in my previous fights.
Now Andrew's going to be defending and shooting in, trying to get the takedown. We've already been going for a full hour. This is 2 weeks before the fight. So as you can see, Andrew and Antoine and Ryan and Ben, they're already in deep sweat. Went to the recreation department. That was a good finish by Andrew. Went to the recreation department today and got a good hour-long workout, running hills, doing plyometrics. So they've already worked out 2 hours today. They've got at least another hour tonight. As you can see, we got class going on, doing the same drills as our fighters. Most of them don't fight. They just want to come in, work out, get in shape. Best way to get in shape is train like a fighter. You don't necessarily have to get hit. You don't necessarily have to actually get in the ring and fight. But you'll be in the best shape of your life. Back over here at Ben, he's working with Broadus, one of our other kickboxers. And holding the mitts for someone is just as difficult as kicking the mitts, because you got to be just as fast as them.
I think the fight, I mean, I know it's going to be a really good fight. This guy has great hands. His kicks, he doesn't have a lot of technique with kicks, but I know the right hand is a bomb, so I'm just going to weather a storm, and, you know, hopefully I'll come out with a KO or a TKO, but right now I'm seeing a decision. The guy I'm fighting is 1-0, and like I said, he's a great boxer. From what everybody's told me, it was the hardest fight that anybody's had as a first fight, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Training with Ryan, Andrew, Antoine, and Chuck, and going to the hardcore gym and things like that, I don't think this guy's going to have much I haven't been through.
Right here we're drilling submissions, where one partner gets the submission, the other partner drills the escape. That way you're keeping all your escapes and all your submissions fresh on your mind before your fight. You don't forget how to get out of the holds. You don't forget how to get the holds no matter what position you're in. So they're taking turns winning the game. One person does a submission, then the other person does a submission and an escape. Right here, Andrew just set up a triangle choke. Ryan's gonna posture up. Take the pressure off his neck. Pass to the side. Now Andrew's got to get out of a submission. He just done a reverse armbar. Andrew just got a Kimura shoulder lock. Over here on Ben and Broadus are doing very slow, controlled kickboxing. Before you tap. Over here on, like I said, on Ben and Broadus, they're doing slow, controlled kickboxing just to get combinations in. Sometimes when you always fight hard, you hold back a lot because you don't want to get hit, but with the controlled sparring, you throw more combinations, get more work in, find out what works for you, what doesn't. And Broadus is one of our 1-0 kickboxers with some great kicks.
I'd have to say the toughest part of the training camp was definitely the last week. Going to the rec department and doing the dam runs. I'm not big on running. I'd rather stay inside and do a workout, but that definitely proved pretty hard. Watching tapes of my guy's last fight, the guy I'm fighting's last fight, he had some pretty wild hands. I mean, he was throwing really hard shots, but not a whole lot of technique on them. I'm thinking if I just come out and box with him, throw a lot of straight punches right down the middle, I should be okay. And the only time I would ever even think about taking it to the ground is if he landed a really hard shot and I got rocked. I feel a lot more comfortable on the ground than I did 6 weeks ago because we've done a lot of drills and things like that. I would much rather keep it standing watching this guy's fight. If I do get on my back, he got rolled twice in his last fight on top, so I'm pretty confident I can get off the bottom, but I'd rather just not have to prove that. Watching this guy's last fight and knowing the kind of training we've been through the past 6 weeks, I'm more than likely in a lot better shape than he is. If I can just keep my hands out there and wind him down, I can probably look for a knockout or a TKO in the last couple rounds. But if he can stay in there, I mean, I don't see myself losing, but I may not have the power to knock him out because he's pretty stable. For all the help we got this whole training camp, I'd like to thank Carolina, Chuck's wife, for all the conditioning. Coach Boy helped a lot on the weightlifting. I think it's going to make all three of us a lot better, stronger fighters. I'd like to thank the gatekeeper, Antoine Orsley, for all his help. He holds the key. And anybody else I've missed, just everybody who's trained with us and helped us get this far in the fight.
Well, hard. Switch. No, not you. Stop. When you make things.
Yeah, toughest part, as Andrew and Ben's already said, was last week. We was at the rec department every day around 12 o'clock, and it's pretty hot outside. So, running up and down hills, jumping over boxes, punching mitts, running suicides with a stupid harness, that stuff, it gets you when it's really hot outside, and I mean, it's, that's all I want to say about that. So this fight, I plan on keeping it standing. The guy don't really have much stand-up, so I want to use that to my advantage. But honestly, I feel like I can wrestle, with him. I mean, I really don't feel like he's a better wrestler than me. I don't feel like he's better at jiu-jitsu than me. I don't feel like he's better at stand-up than me. His best game I don't think he's got anything that I don't have. He has, I mean, the wrestling that he has, I mean, I've got it, if not better. So I mean, I'm really not, worried about him bringing something to the table that I don't have. For this training camp, we've had the most people, help us out with training. We had Coach Boyd come in this time, work with us on weightlifting. That was the first time we've ever done that before, and it really helped a lot with explosiveness. And then we had Carolina really help us out a lot with the. We had Carolina really help us out a lot with a lot of conditioning. The cardio kickboxing class back there. That class, it ain't no joke. It's really how much you want to put into it is what you get out of it, and you can really kill yourself in that hour. And she makes sure to keep an eye on us, and she also really helped me a lot with my dieting this fight. Because it was really important considering how much overweight I was. So losing that 7-8 pounds, like I told you earlier. I mean that was all her. She set me up with meal plans. She helped me with my counting calories and all. And it wasn't necessarily that fun, but it got me down. It got me down the weight, and that's what I needed. And then got to thank Antoine, the gatekeeper. He had to get through him, but we did it. We did it. He helped us out. He had a great sparring partner. I mean, he's a big, strong guy, athletic, agile. I mean, that's a perfect training partner. And then of course we had this guy named Chuck Calton. He's a pretty good trainer. I've known him for a little while. He's done pretty good with me past 10, 11 years. So I trust him, continue on with me another 10 or 11 years. But yeah, I mean, thank Chuck. He really he's in here every day. He works with us twice a day. 6 days a week. That's a lot of time. A lot of time out of somebody's life, and he doesn't have to do that at all. But he loves the sport. He loves us to take care of us. And he knows he don't want to send us in there, out of shape and not looking good. Then I got to thank Ben and Andrew, great training partners. Like I said, the more training partners you have, the better you're going to be for a fight. And I mean, the motivation and all. It really helped out a lot. Anybody I'm forgetting? Hardcore Gym. Awesome training partners there. Those guys, endless knowledge, really help out a lot. Your
drill boy for me. Come on. Stop. All right, let's go. Slide on. Come on. Work it, Dan. Let's go. Stop. Rotate. Hard. Stop. Let's go. Next one.
All right. We're about 2 weeks from the fight right now. The boys, Ryan, Andrew, and Ben, they've been training hard. From week one, when we first started the weight training program, all the explosive lifts, they were kind of puny after the first time, but right now, as you can see on the videos, they're cruising right through their workouts. Matter of fact, right now they're training harder than they have in a long time. This combined with what Chuck's doing to them before the weight training part, their conditioning I think is outstanding right now. We've added quite a bit of plyometrics to their workout, as you can see, and the explosiveness is only going to help in their fights tremendously. 2 weeks out, we've got probably another week in here as far as the weight room is concerned. We've got about another week. We're going to really lighten up the weights and try and get more speed and explosiveness, even more speed and explosiveness into their workout. I think that their conditioning is great right now. They've got a little bit more as far as losing weight, getting down to their weight class. But conditioning-wise, I would say they're superior. I really don't believe that their opponents are training as hard as these 3 guys are right now.
I want to thank Jim Robinson ahead of time. He's going to be the corner man for this fight, and he does a great job, corners. He's always looking out for our best interest, which is eating bananas and eating more bananas and making sure we get all our bananas in before the fight. So maybe, yeah, with a scoop of peanut butter along to go with that. Yeah, but I mean, he really does. He does a great job, making sure we're warmed up, and ready to go. So I want to think. All right, no, all right. If I make weight, hopefully, if I make weight, I'll see you at the fight. So I'm sure you'll see Ben. I'm sure you'll see Andrew. Maybe you'll see me.